Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidyadravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadashi, 7th chapter, and we are at sloka 69. Let's chant that sloka. Avantarena vakyena paroksha brahmadhir bhavet sarvatraiva mahavakya vicharad aparokshadihi. So by avantara vakyena, this we analyzed a little bit in the last one. So by avantara vakyena, by the avantara vakyas, means those are other statements that are helpful, that are not primary but helpful to understand the who I am. So avantara vakyena paroksha brahmadhir bhavet. So by the shabda pramana, that is avantara vakyam, by the shabda pramana, I can gain the knowledge of Brahman as indirect knowledge, that there is a Brahman, and Brahman is of the nature of Satchidanandam, and he is of the from which the whole universe came, by which it is sustained, into which goes back. So I can learn all Vedanta about the nature of the Brahman, and he is of the nature of not empty, is not a Sunyavadam, it is that because of which the whole universe came, so it is a conscious entity and Prajnanam Brahma. So therefore, Sarvatraiva Mahavakya Vicharat Parokshadihi. Vicharat Aparokshaha. By the direct and immediate knowledge of the Vichara, by inquiring into the nature of Mahavakyas, Sarvatra Eva, everywhere, in every place, and that means that is all the time, only by the analysis of Vicharat Eva. So, Vicharateva, the Sarvatra Vicharateva, the Aparokshadihi. So, by gaining the knowledge of the immediate and direct knowledge of, it's not Brahman of some objectification, and that is the knowledge one can gain by the analysis. And this is a bigger, most of the problems in the higher, subtler level is the objectification of the Brahman. Everyone understands Vedanta and still we say, have you realized this? No, I have not realized. What does it mean? It means I know only Brahman, but even there in the scriptures, I listen to the scriptures, Atma is Brahman, so there is nothing other than Brahman, and I am that Brahman. All statements are made without recognizing that or realizing I am that Brahman that is talking about me. And that doesn't come because I have the mind which is always turned outside for an objectification. Because it has been gone, that mind has been trained to think only in that direction. Therefore, it always looks for, says, just as the 10th fellow, where is the 10th man, is looking for the 10th man, as though 10th man is an object for him to see. Because he is only seeing the 9 people. Just as the 9 people is able to see, want to see 10th person also, therefore he is looking for a paroksha jnanam and that indirect knowledge of the Brahman. But Brahman cannot be known also because we are only looking at the everything, excluding that, excluding the subject, we are only looking at the whole objective world. So I cannot discover by objective sciences the nature of the truth. So people think that, oh, science is coming now more and subtler, and one day it will discover the truth. It will never discover the truth as long as it doesn't include the subject. Because the universe consists of one subject and the object. Subject-object duality. So without the subject, is there an object? Is there a world? So without me, you think there is no world. Without me, there may be a world, but how do you know? So for me to know, I should have the knowledge of the existence of the world. So without me, the seeing or perceiving or understanding the existence of the knowledge cannot be established. That's why we gave an example. Is there a chair in the room? So I don't know because it's too dark. I cannot see anything. So it is only, yes, there may be chair or there may not be chair. So the existence, the probability of the existence of a chair is only 50% because other 50% it may not exist. So it becomes an indeterminate knowledge. So how can I prove that the chair exists? Turn the light on. So when I turn the light on, then I can say, yes, there is a chair, or no, there is no chair here. So either way, the existence of a chair or its non-existence has now become 100%. It was from the 50% probability, it has become 100%. So from the probabilistic knowledge, I came into a deterministic knowledge only when the consciousness joins with the existence. Therefore, I am conscious of the existence of the chair out there. Without being conscious of the existence of a chair outside is only probability. It may be there, it may not be there. It's an indeterminate problem. So without me, the world existence or not cannot be established. Without a scientist investigating the nature of the fundamental particles, the existence of the fundamental particles may be independent of the scientist, but he will never be able to isolate, complete the story, because the story should include, or understanding of the whole universe should include both the subject and the object, and he cannot use the objective tools to analyze the subject. He cannot investigate objective tools to say, who am I? Because I am not an object. Subject cannot be objectified. That's the definition of a subject. What is a subject? Subject is that which cannot be objectified. If it is objectified, then it's no more a subject. So subject can never become an object, and object can never become a subject. You say, hey, I am an object for you, but I can be an object for myself. From your point, everything else is an object other than you. From my point, I am the only subject in the universe, and everything is objectified. And objectifiable entity exists only through the knowledge. So existence of any object is established by the knowledge of its existence. Therefore, no science, no objective sciences can analyze the subject. Therefore, it by itself a limitation, and you cannot use those tools to say, oh, it's not there, because the very analysis itself is defective. That cannot be used. So that has to be understood here. So avantarena vakyena paroksha brahmadir bhave sarvatraiva mahavakya vicharad aparokshadihi. So by vichara, by inquiring into what is nature of the self and what is the nature of the world. So I have to know Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaivana Paraha. And Shankara says, that is by which I know all this, says Anena Vedyam Tat Shastram. That alone is a real science. Other ones is only an objective for convenient or for transactions. It is useful for operating in this world, but it doesn't give you the essence of the whole universe itself. So no objective scientist will be able to discover the truth, and that's what the scripture says. Naisha tarkena materapaneya. By logical analysis, you can never get the absolute truth. Why? Because science depends, objective science depends only on the logical analysis. It starts with the data, and they have to use by either inductive or deductive research what is the absolute underlying it. So sarvatra eva mahavakya vicharad aparokshadihi. So with that aparokshadihi, I should gain. Now let's ask the question, because there was a raised question, says, how can this Shabda Pramana give me aparoksha jnanam? So the question is, Shabda jnanam is the pramana, Shabda Pramana. Means by hearing I should know the truth. How can by hearing I should know the truth? By hearing only I can know indirect truth. So that's why I turn the TV on, and when I turn the TV on, I am getting a news about what's happening in America or what's happening in Afghanistan and so on. But that is an indirect knowledge, because I am not seeing what's happening. He may be showing the picture, but I am only seeing the TV of impression of that, and it may be selective picture that he has taken, and therefore I am only hearing what he says, and from that Sabda Pramana, I am getting the knowledge of the indirect knowledge of what's happening there. So Sabda Pramana gives only the indirect knowledge. So when I say, is there a pot in the other room? So you go and there says, yes, there is a pot. So I am not seeing the pot, and I am going by your word that yes, there is a pot out there. So therefore, my knowledge of the existence of the pot is only based on your statement, because I have not seen the pot. Pratyaksha Pramanam is not there. It's only indirect knowledge through voice of or the words of a dependable guy, because I know you don't lie, I know you are trustworthy. Therefore, when you say there is a pot in the other room, I have to believe that there must be a pot, because you are a trustworthy person. I have faith in your words. That is called Sabda Pramana. So by Sabda Pramana, we are familiar with the existence of a pot, or existence of this, existence of all this, that which I don't see. Because if I am seeing, I don't need your word. If I am seeing directly, pot is there, I don't need your word to say, yes, there is a pot. Yeah, I can see. So the direct perception becomes a direct knowledge. So it's called Prabala Pramanam, because that's a strong Pramana, eyewitness account. So eyewitness account even in the court also, because he saw what is happening. So that is rather than somebody hearing what is happening, this one has saw. So seeing is believing, and that's what our analysis is. And based on Pratyaksha Pramana called Prabala Pramana, it's a strong compared to some hearsay evidence that I heard that this fellow has stolen. So you cannot go by that word. Say, have you seen it? Say, no, I have not seen it. Then the court will not accept it. So eyewitness account only court will accept as the evidence for establishing that it is or it is not. So therefore, this is a Sabda Pramana, provided I can rely on that. It's called Aptavakyam. Aptavakyam is a dependable person is saying so. So the other fellow in the court, when he says, I saw it, the other opponent, other lawyer will try to prove that you cannot depend on him. So his words are not dependable. Therefore, his evidence is also not dependable. So he's trying to establish, the opponent lawyer only will try to establish the unreliability of the witness itself, and therefore unreliability of his statement also. So statement can be disproved or proved by proper analysis or by going there. Suppose what is happening in Afghanistan, the reporter is telling, right now I have faith, the reporter is reporting properly. But if I go there, it's not there, and see, therefore I lose the faith in the reporter also. Reporter is only telling something which is not there. So therefore he is showing something else and say, this is what is happening in Afghanistan. So therefore dependability or the reliability of the Aptavakyam becomes a problem. So all that is only Durbala Pramana. It is a weaker Pramana. It's only indirect knowledge. So it says indirect knowledge comes only by the word of mouth. In this case, is there a heaven or hell? Who has not? Nobody has seen. And people who have seen have now come back to tell me there is a heaven or hell. So in all other religions, they declare that there is the existence of heaven and earth are established by the word of the dependable person. But this is only indirect knowledge that I can gain, and therefore it becomes a Shastra Pramanam only for that. Whereas the Aparoksha Jnanam is immediate and direct. How can Shabda Pramana gives you immediate and direct knowledge? If that is a statement, then we have to understand essentially what's the Paroksha Jnanam and Aparoksha Jnanam. In the case of Aparoksha Jnanam, where the knowledge is indirect only, so we should know how Shabda Pramana can become both Aparoksha and Paroksha. Sabda Pramana is only establishing it is a paroksha knowledge, but whereas you are claiming that by Sabda Pramana I can get direct also. So how can Sabda Pramana give you Aparoksha Jnanam and Paroksha Jnanam? He says, what is the definition? What is the definition or meaning of Paroksha Jnanam and Aparoksha Jnanam? Here it says Jnana Vritti and Jnana Vishaya has to be together. That gives you direct knowledge. So if I see a pot, say jnana vritti, I am seeing, and that seeing gives you a thought in my mind, and the thought in my mind is the vritti jnanam, and the vritti jnanam matches with the vishaya there, object there, therefore that is immediate and direct. So whenever the jnana vritti joins with the object that is vishaya, then only you get a direct knowledge. So in all this pratyaksha pramana, the vritti jnanam and the vishaya jnanam has to be joining together as one. Then only I will have a direct knowledge of the object out there that I am perceiving. So all the perceptual knowledge is based on vritti jnanam and vishaya jnanam are together. Whereas Sabda Pramanam, it says, what is happening in Afghanistan? Afghanistan is an object of information and I am not seeing it directly. Therefore, the Vritti Jnanam is there because I am hearing from him, I can get the ideas of what's happening there. That's only Vritti Jnanam. There is no Vishaya Jnanam because objects are somewhere which is far away. Therefore, there is no joining sambandha of the Vritti Jnanam and the Vishaya Jnanam. Therefore, it's only indirect knowledge. Then I had to depend upon the trustworthy of the person who is reporting it. Therefore, it's a Durbala Pramana. Until I go and check in Afghanistan to say, yes, this fellow is a dependable, what he said, in fact, what happened. Therefore, I have a faith in the words from then on. On the other hand, in the case of aparoksha jnanam, immediate and direct, and the word scripture uses the aparoksha jnanam. A pratyaksha jnanam is immediate. That which is far away from my senses, which I cannot see and which I cannot hear, so none of the senses can go away. I have to depend upon the Shabda Pramanam by, hey, yes, what happened. And those things that are beyond my senses can reach. Therefore, I have to depend upon Shabda Pramanam and Shabda Anuman, all other Pramanams, Arthapatti, every other Pramanas are only valid for that which I cannot directly see. And therefore, they are Durbala Pramanams. But in the case of Shastra, Shastra becomes a Prabala Pramanam because which you cannot deduce by Pratyaksha and which you cannot deduce by logic. You have to depend upon the Shastra. Is there a heaven or there a hell? No one has come back from heaven and hell to say whether there is. I am hearing from the Shastra, but I had to have that faith immediately, but it is still indirect knowledge. When I go to heaven and I know, yeah, Shastra says heaven, now I see heaven. But this is immediately different where it says aparoksha jnanam, when it says through Mahavakya, it's not only the vritti jnanam, immediate direct says you are, because it's not about I am. How is it? That's what the example of Dashamaha example. 10th man, where you remember the 10th man crossed, 10 people crossed, everybody is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is the 10th man? 10th man is missing. So 10th man is looking for objectified somewhere else. And that person is not there, and everybody counting and come back, there is no 10th man here. So a person, a teacher sitting there and watching all this tamasha and says, 10th man is there and 10th man is alive, you don't need to cry. That is a paroksha jnanam right now. Because they are not seeing 10th man as, yes, because of the faith in the teacher's words, they are now quietened down. Says, please tell me, I am only seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is the 10th man? Says, Tattvamasi. You are the 10th man. Now what is that? That is immediate knowledge because the one I am looking for as an object is the very subject itself. Therefore, the vritti jnanam and the vishaya jnanam are immediately joined together for me to have the knowledge. So, Sabda Pramana can give immediate knowledge. How is it possible? Just as you know, how do you know you are happy or you are unhappy? That's immediate knowledge. But that is not a Sabda Pramanam. Hey, you are happy, I think you should be happy. You cannot be happy by listening to somebody, but I am happy because I am experiencing the happiness. So all those emotions that you experience are not based on the sense input. Therefore, it's not a pratyaksha pramanam, but it is immediately experienced because there the vritti jnanam and the vishaya jnanam are immediately together. Sambandha is there, therefore it is immediate and therefore it is knowledge. Therefore, I can have by sabda pramana not only the indirect knowledge about Brahma Asti, God is there. Why does the scripture say so? I don't believe in this. That's your problem. But scripture says, yes, God is the way. He is Jagat Karta Ishwaraha. But not only Jagat Karta, he is Jagat Karanam Karta. He is not only Karta, creator, but also the material also comes from him only. Just as the just as the spider is putting forth, material also comes from him, intelligence also coming from him. This is all scriptural making a statement that it is not only the nimitta karanam but upadana karanam, that all that knowledge is gaining is an indirect knowledge about the Brahma Asti. And where is that? He Sarva Vyapaka, because himself is became many. From him only Akasha came. Akashat Vayu, Vayu Agni, Agni Apah, Prithvi, Prithvyabhyam. All, everything as Osha, all these things are creation coming from that source only. That is all from the indirect knowledge that I gain from the scriptures. Now the scripture goes into Mahavakya, says, you are that. After saying that, Tattvamasi, says, Hadeva Saumya Vidamagramasi, Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma, existence alone was there before creation, and that existence became many, and Tadakshata Bhautsyam Prada Eeti, and that itself is the whole universe itself. After saying all that by the teacher, Uddalaka, to his own son, Swetaketu, says, Aitadatmyamedagum Sarvam, Tat Satyam, Sa Atma, Tattvamasi Swetaketu. So, Aitadatmyamedagum Sarvam, this entire universe, Idam Sarvam, everything is, essence of it is nothing but Sat, I have been talking about. Okay? It started with Sat. Existence alone was there. It became created. And that existence is nothing but, it is the essence of the whole universe itself. Aijadatma vidagam sarvam tat satyam. Sa atma. Then he goes to the next level. That is nothing but the self. So he started with the Sat, which is essentially Brahman. That is what his Brahman is. Then he goes into, that is nothing but Atma. That statement also says, Aichadatma Vidagam Sarvam Tat Satyam. That is Sat that I have been talking about. And Atma, that is nothing but the self. And which self is that? Tattvamasi Swetaketu, you are that. So essentially the step by step, because the father is teaching son to make sure the son doesn't understand properly. So he is going step by step, starting with the existence alone, because Eka Vijnana Sarva Vijnanam Bhavati, knowing one thing you can know everything. Says it's not possible, the student says it can be possible if I know the essence of it, everything from which it came, by which it is sustained, into which it goes back. Yadova imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prem tabisham vishanti. That is Brahman, tat vijnasasva, tat brahmeti, and that Brahman is Tattvamasi Swetaketu. You are that, is being a teacher. Therefore, Sabda Pramana can become immediate and direct knowledge only as in the case of you are the 10th person. So 10th person, I am now looking for 10th person all over the place and crying, where is the 10th person? And you are the 10th person. So how can this be applied? Because I am looking for happiness all over the world. I know I am existent and I know I am consciousness. I am not looking for existence. And I am conscious entity, that's why the whole world I can see. But what I am looking for? Not for God, not for anything. I am looking for happiness only. But happiness is, where is happiness? Oh, it is here, it is there, it is there. So I am running after happiness by gaining this and gaining that, and like a rat race. But he says, you are the very source of happiness. Happiness is not out there. And therefore you are the very Anandam, Ananda Swarupam itself. Anantameva Anandam. And you will never be happy by gaining finite things. You can only gain infinite, which you cannot gain infinite. You cannot become infinite unless you are already infinite. So therefore you are trying to solve a problem where there is no real problem. And that itself has become a problem for life after life. Therefore, the indirect, so-called indirect knowledge has become a direct knowledge now only through Mahavakya Vichara. So it says, Sarvatraiva Mahavakya Vicharat Aparokshat. So aparokshadhihi. Aparoksha means by directly visiting, I am that, because I can negate the whole universe. I can go negate the whole universe when I go to from a waking state to a dream state to a deep sleep state. Once I go to a deep sleep state, what is there? Nothing is there. No one is there. No time, no space. But what is there? I was there. I slept very well, you say. That means I was there. I'm sure I'm going to be there. That's why I go to sleep. If I think I am not there, I will never go to sleep. So I know that I am going to be there because of my past experience, and therefore I am comfortably go to sleep. And I want to go to sleep. Why? Because I am happy there. Why? There is nobody there to bother me. Therefore, Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. Any duality causes a problem. You say, that's why Udara Vantaram Kurte Atatasya bhayam bhavati. Any speck of difference becomes a problem. So there are no problems to anybody, nobody, whether it's a king or a pauper. So in the Telugu song, Nidra Okkate, whether it's a king or a pauper, once he is in the sleep state, is only one, because he is happy by himself, because there is nobody else there, and I slept very well. What is there? I don't know anything. Therefore, but at the same time, Ananda means that Ananda is only reflected happiness, because there is no suffering there. Because Dvitiya, any duality causes a problem. Because there is no duality, no one to bother me, therefore I am contented by myself. But there is no knowledge there. Knowledge that I don't know that I am there also. In the deep sleep state, I don't know my existence even. I don't know the subject-object duality is all now there, but I don't know myself also. But yet I know I am there. Why? Because I can recollect, say, I slept very well. That means there is a subtle mind, subtle part of the mind recording the existence or knowledge of it. That from which I can say, I slept very well. And that knowledge can be, that means I am the only one. I can negate the whole universe, and the universe, along with the universe, the creator of the universe is also not there. Time is not there, space is not there, but I am there. So I am beyond the time and space. I am that from which the whole thing came, and that's what is called Sarvatraiva Mahavakya Vicharad Aparokshadhihi. So by the Aparokshadhi, by the direct and immediate knowledge, one can gain the total understanding of the truth. And that's why Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha Anena Vedyam Tat Shastram, by which I can know that this three things is the real Shastram, or the real knowledge. That's what the scripture says. And that's why even though Shabda Pramanam is a peculiar Pramanam, is not like a Pratyaksha Pramanam. Pratyaksha Pramanam gives immediate knowledge only because the Jnana Vritti and the Vritti Jnanam and the Vishaya Jnanam are together. But in the case of fire, in the distant fire, I see smoke there, but I don't see fire. I say there is a fire out there. How do you know? Because in the past, wherever I see a smoke, I saw fire. So there is a concomitant relation between what I see and what I am concluding, and that's based on the Drishtanta. Example is there, and this is Anumana Pramana, logical deduction called Vyapti Jnanam. I can deduce that there is a fire based on what I see. So this is still indirect knowledge. It's not a direct knowledge, because there is a logic involved. The logic is that wherever there is a smoke, there is a fire. If you have not seen before any relation between the smoke and the fire, then I cannot deduce. I can only say there is a smoke there, but I don't say that there is a fire there. So this knowledge of deduction is indirect, because Jnana Vritti Jnanam and the Vishaya Jnanam are not matching there. Therefore, it's only indirect knowledge. Whereas this Brahman is there is indirect knowledge, that the God is there, but I don't see God anywhere. Just because I don't see, I can say I cannot negate, because scripture says so. Therefore, I assume that because scripture has to be truth, but when it comes to the Aparoksha Jnanam, it's not called Paroksha Jnanam, it's not called Pratyaksha Jnanam. It's called Aparoksha Jnanam. Aparoksha means not Paroksha. I mean, not Paroksha means it's not this distance and God. This is neither the Pratyaksha nor Paroksha, but it's the Aparoksha, not far away, but at the same time it's so close to me. It says Purnamada, Purnamidam. So Purnamidam is entire universe, but Purnamadaha is what? Purnamaham. I am that source, and that is what is the happiness is to be understood. And Sarvatraiva Mahavakya Vicharad Aparokshadhihi. So from the scriptural statement first gives you the indirect knowledge called the Avantara Vakyas, through the statements about Sadeva Saumya Idamagramasid, Atma Va Idamagramasid, Brahma Va Idamagramasid. All those statements about the scriptural declarations gives me only indirect knowledge of the Brahman. But when it comes to this, I have to recognize that I am the total part of the creation. I am Satchidananda. Brahman has to be Satchidananda, and there cannot be two Satchidanandas, because Sat becomes a division. You cannot divide a Sat, or you cannot divide a Chit, because scripture itself says the Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness itself is infinite. So you cannot make a divisions in the infinite. And that's essentially what is Paroksha Brahma Dhihi has become Aparoksha through the Mahavakya Vicharat. And that's what this sloka is. Here we'll stop here with this sloka and go to 70 next in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Stop, Anama.